Hi, I'm Tanya Janka, and I want to talk about the injection vulnerability. So, I was looking through my videos and I realized I didn't have one about this that was public, so I thought I would make one. So, when you're making software, you write a whole bunch of code, and it's supposed to do the things that your client wants it to do and not a whole bunch of other things. When a piece of software is vulnerable to something called injection, it means that an attacker is able to take the code they wrote, put it inside your app, usually through like a URL parameter, through like a search field, something like that. They add it in a place, and then it confuses your app. And it's like, code? I love executing code. I'm going to execute that. Meanwhile, us security folks are like, no. But your app doesn't understand because of the way you've coded it. That's what happens when it's vulnerable. So, a malicious actor adds some code in where there should be data. Your app should be treating it as data, but for some reason it gets confused. Ways to prevent this are one, whenever you get anything from a user, you validate that it's what you're expecting. And if it's not what you're expecting, you just reject it and say, sorry, bad format. Usernames should be letters and numbers, and that's it. Thanks, try again. The next thing you can do, besides input validation, is always do something called output encoding. And some frameworks just do this by default, like Ruby. Good job, Ruby. And it just does that for you. Some of them you have to write it yourself, like if you're in PHP. What that does is it strips away any powers that might have before you send it to the screen. So this would stop something like cross-site scripting, which is a subtype of injection. And the third thing you can do is if you're using SQL or no SQL or anything like that, is you use a parameterized query instead of concatenating a bunch of crap together that you got from the user, and then you send it off to whatever database SERI that you're using. So this could mean Mongo database, this could mean MS SQL, it could be MySQL, etc. It doesn't matter. Use a parameterized query, it takes away all of its powers and again avoids injection. And so injection's terrifying because it can make your app do all sorts of things, including, because it's on the server, it's behind the firewall, and whatever your app server and identity on your network has the power to do, it could try to do, especially if you haven't got other systems that are hardened. So with that, I'm Tanya Janka, also known as SheX Purple, and I hope that all of you can avoid injection in all your apps from now on. Read the article below to learn more.